40 million people in the United States are about to lose access to food stamps, EBT, as of November 1st.
Trump administration says it will not use emergency funds to pay for federal food benefits with a fast approaching deadline. CBS's Christina Fan is in New York with details on that. Christina.
Well, Jericho, 1 in 8 Americans rely on SNAP benefits, and tonight there is...
Actually, it's not 1 in 8 Americans. It's actually 1 in 8 people in the United States, and that's an important distinction.
Mounting worry for them. They might not be able to afford food with money running out 1 week from today.
I think people are starting to panic.
Food banks around the country are flashing warning signs.
Before we get into this deeper, let's take a moment to sing the praises of food banks here. If you really want to help the food situation, the food security situation, give to food banks. Food banks are great because you are literally giving food, not money. This food is going to go to people who need it. And typically it's going to go to somebody in your local community. So, as we come up on this deadline, this November 1st deadline, give food to your food bank. And if you really, really want to go the extra step, give something that's perishable, things like, tomatoes or even potatoes or something like that, something that typically is not given to food banks. Believe me, they'll be taken and appreciated.
Look at that. That was full this morning.
The pantry at Calvary Episcopal Church in Kentucky ran out of food for the first time in its 43-year history.
We feel like this is the tip of the iceberg.
Members of the California National Guard are now deployed to help food banks in the state. In Massachusetts, 16% of residents rely on SNAP benefits.
Consider that stat. 1 in 6 people in Massachusetts are on food stamps. That's a pretty amazing stat.
Which provide an average of $187 a month, or about $6 a day. Democratic Governor Maura Healey holds President Trump responsible.
We are shocked.
Leadership is a choice. And sadly, President Trump has chosen to take away food from people all around this country.
Aboard Air Force One, President Trump told reporters he's not to blame.
Well, I'm going to let some other people talk. I'll have a comment on that later, but the Democrats are stopping it.
On this one, Trump is absolutely correct. Look, it'll take 7 Democratic votes in the Senate to get this ball rolling and EBT flowing to their constituents. But the Democrats don't want to do that because they lost badly on the big, beautiful bill, which frankly, quietly, a lot of Democrats are super happy past. They will never say this, but there are plenty of crony deals in that giant piece of legislation that we are not happy about. But it looks like the Democrats look weak, and they think that they have some traction by holding things up and blaming President Trump and the Republicans for the lack of EBT funds. And right now, I think polling is showing it's working for them, so they're not going to stop.
The sudden loss in federal food aid will ripple beyond homes into stores and businesses. Every dollar in SNAP benefits generates $1.54 in economic activity.
Okay, this is something that big government people love to pretend actually exists. There is no such thing as a multiplier effect, period. Okay, not at all. It does not exist. You cannot get something from nothing. You can't take $1 and turn it into $1.50 of economic activity. That does not exist, okay? Something does not come from nothing. This is something people need to understand. Yet it is so widely, I've been looking at what people have been saying about EBT, and this is widely spread. People love to think the government spending creates wealth. It doesn't. It sucks wealth out of the private sector. That is a fact. Anyway, I've noticed that it's been ranging anyway from $1.30 to $1.71, I think, in economic activity that $1 worth of EBT creates. It's baloney. Okay, it doesn't create anything. Okay, that extra is coming from somewhere else All right. Remember, if somebody tries to sell you a multiplier effect, either they don't know or they're lying to you. Now, in this most recent version of the great EBT debate that has erupted over the past couple of days, as it's become clear that EBT is going to run out on November 1st, there's all sorts of nastiness going on online right now. Most of it's been around, who deserves EBT, whether or not EBT should exist, why EBT, etc. Okay. But one thing that is lost, and I want to make sure is at least inserted into the debate in our very, to the small degree that we can insert it. And that is the degree to which EBT is massive business. Now, the giant corporations, the giant food corporations, they love EBT. It is, think about it. All the poor people who are on EBT, all right, whatever it is, the one in 6 in Massachusetts, 1 in 8 in the country, that money goes into their pocket and immediately goes out into the supermarkets to buy things like cereal. And the number one most purchased item on EBT is sugar soda. So companies like Coca-Cola and PepsiCo, they have huge interest in keeping EBT alive and well. For them, it means billions and billions of dollars. Consider Walmart. Walmart, gets a huge amount of its revenue from EBT. These giant corporations want these government programs to exist as they are and lobby to be on EBT lists. So that, their bottom lines are padded. I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, it would be, as a shareholder of Walmart, I mean, I'm not a shareholder of Walmart, but if I was, I mean, you would expect the leadership of Walmart to go out there and try to get on the EBT list, It's perfectly natural. It's if EBT is the way it is, there's an incentive for these large corporations to go out there and get on the list so that federal tax money, taxpayer tax money, the taxpayer money that you and I pay, flows to Walmart or to Target or to, Stop and Shop or whatever. All right. Basically, the money flows right out of the pockets of the poor folks, right back to the corporations. And that's one of the reasons why EBT is likely here to stay for the long term. And also one of the reasons why, if you really do care about food security, you should probably buy some food and give it to your local food bank.
Believe. Hell no. Come on.